Y Radio Podcasts. Y Radio Podcasts are produced by students from Waiheke High School Media Studies. For more information on our show, check us out at www.waihekeradio.org.nz/yradio. This is where we kind of talk about some kind of youth issue that's going on, and we're just going to start off with a little quick conversation about the new phone ban, which came into effect at the beginning of term 2. And in the studio right now, on my left, I have Delphina, Alexi. So we've kind of had the phone ban going for a little bit longer than that, haven't we?
I guess so, but not really.
What do you mean, not really?
It's there, but nobody uses
Talking to
it.
the mic.
I don't know. It's meant to be a thing.
But don't you think that people are not getting their phones out in class?
Yeah, not as much maybe, but I think I do a lot.
You do get your phone out in class a lot?
A lot.
You know, there's people at school who are probably listening to this.
Good.
Hello. I haven't really noticed you getting your phone out.
That's because you weren't looking.
Yeah.
That's because you're trying to seem like you.
But in general, like in the past, there was that thing where there was no, like I would have media studies classes and people would just come in with their phone out and they would just have their phone all the time.
Mm.
That doesn't seem to happen anymore.
Yeah, I think it was like, I don't know, at Selwyn last year, before the phone ban was a thing, they started like that we have to put it in like a box.
Well, before in
at the
each
start
class,
of the class,
or
in each class
time, we'd have a box where we just put all our phones
and
in.
everyone actually like did it. And
did both of you guys go to Selwyn?
Yeah.
Oh,
we were buddies.
You were Selwyn buddies?
Yeah.
Did you guys commute together as well?
Yeah, but Alexi wasn't there half of the time.
Why?
Because you were always sick.
Oh yeah. I have like a really bad immune system, but
anyways, that's not what we're talking about.
Well, Lexi's immune system. That could be another show. So this was something they had last year. They already had like a little bit of a system in place.
Yeah.
And I thought it was pretty effective, to be honest.
Yeah, I thought it was good. Like better than just saying not to have your phones now that they're going to confiscate it. Because like, I don't believe that they...
Yeah, I mean, so part of the ban, from what I understand, is that you aren't really supposed to have phones either at interval and lunchtime. And now I also understand, I was looking at like a poll, and a lot of people thought that was kind of rubbish, and that a lot of the public support was for, yes, phones will be banned in class, but let kids do it at lunchtime and interval. Have you noticed at lunchtime and interval any change, or...
I guess when like people are sitting in more like central, like I don't know, when I say central, I mean like areas where teachers are
really public,
yeah, then no, they don't really. But it's like, I don't know, there's nothing to do otherwise, I feel like. But obviously like talking,
socializing.
Yeah, no, but like I mean,
yeah,
you can socialize, but what if you already like caught up with everything with your friends and you
just want to go on your phone and
But I mean, don't you guys sort of seem to socialize with phones anyway, right? I mean, it's sort of like, it's not like just because you have your phone out, you're not necessarily
we're not being
talking.
like completely antisocial. Like
so,
if we see something.
So do you think the ban should have allowed intervals and lunchtimes?
Definitely.
Yeah, I think so.
And sometimes I need to like text my mom or something during lunchtime.
Yeah, you know what? I had this thought the other night because my daughter started playing football. Right, and there was a thing that came out that was like, well, they're not supposed to have their phones are not supposed to be taking on like school trips. But is that a school trip? I mean, if you go to football at 12, they leave at like 1:20, and then they're away. So that's a school trip technically. But I don't want my daughter in town really without a phone.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, why? Why would I? I mean, it's like she wants to stay afterwards too, so. I'm not going to leave her in town with no way to contact me or me to contact her.
Yeah, I feel like there's a big necessity to like, because everything's online, and I think like communication is really important with whether it's with family or maybe something happened like on, and they can't contact you.
But they can contact the school, and the school can contact you.
But the school's a bit useless. Sorry.
Is it? So,
my parents never call the school, like ever.
Do you think that the intent of the ban is that, was the intent of the ban that people would not bring phones at all? That you would actually leave phones at home?
Well, that's what, like, I don't know. I know everybody has them, and they don't leave it at home, but I think that they're like meant to. But obviously they're not going to do that because you know, you need to text your parents or something like this, or something happens.
That's my experience, is that
like
everyone has a phone.
Yeah.
But I would say that the amount of times I have to harass people about phones in the class has gone way down, and I think that's actually really good. But there has been some issues in like there's a couple of times, particularly in like creative industries, where we're getting people to create portfolios of work, and you want people to take a photo of work. That has been a problematic. And also even in media studies, where my original task was having people go and record interviews with people on their phones, was super easy. Like, go out, chuck your phone down, interview that person, is now problematic. Although I see that they have put out on the official Waiheke High School one, a teacher can allow a phone, but there's a weird thing in there, like it says like for 60 seconds.
Yeah.
So what
I think
what is
I
that?
was telling me about that. I thought it's so weird. Like, what are you meant to do in like 1 minute?
I guess take a photo and put it away, but it'd be like, okay, do the interview, but make sure it's like really quick.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. It just seemed like an unusual thing. Like, if I'm giving you an exemption to use a phone, it should just be at the discretion of me, right, as being in control of the class, to say, okay, when you're finished taking photos or recording, then whatever. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think that also, I think my personal belief is that yes, it's a good thing. It does kind of surprise me a little bit how, like, you know, the current government has been really crowing about this as like some huge successful thing, that they've changed education forever now. And it's like, really, you've been in for like, you know, 6 months and that's your big thing, is you ban phones. But, you know, anyway.
I don't think it's completely bad not to have phones in class, but I believe that they should have made the systems different, or at least had like each school be able to, you know, like modify it.
Yeah.
I think schools can modify it to an extent. I mean, but I think the general... I think the government said that phones aren't supposed to come out in schools from the periods of when school starts to when it finishes. So that was no intervals and lunch times.
Yeah.
The way the school did it was up to them. So they could have a way they collect it, or they could have just say, don't bring it out, or, you know, so some of that aspect was left up to the schools. And I'm pretty sure the schools could also have policies around exemptions, because people can also have it for health reasons.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, one example that's kind of interesting is that we get all these international students, and they use their phone as a translator all the time.
Yeah.
So we've kind of like, what are they going to be walking around with dictionaries now? Which is probably how we would do it back in the day, but it's, you know.
Yeah, but this is the future.
Yeah, we're living
Phones
in the
aren't going
future.
away. Why, like, take away our ability to use them?
Yeah. I don't know. Do you think phones... I think phones will go away.
Oh.
Or I was wondering, like the other day I was watching a couple of reviews of these sort of AI devices that they're like little devices that you carry around with you, and you ask them questions and they answer questions.
Oh yeah, I saw something about that. That's so weird. Like, my dad sent me this video of like this AI thing, and it was like so creepy.
There's one at the moment called Rabbit, and there's another one called like God, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a pin, and you pin it onto your shirt or something, and you can ask it questions, and it can also like, yeah, so you're like, oh, I need to find the closest bagel place, and it like finds the bagel place and then talks it back to you. And in a way, they're just at the beginning of like sort of like being something that's not a phone, but it's with you all the time and could, you know what I mean? Like, so maybe phones, we always think that these things are like, you know, we always think, oh, these things are going to be around forever, but maybe the future, it'll just be like, you know, you'll just have your glasses and your little device, and you'll be like, phones are so 20th century. Thanks for listening to Y Radio Podcasts. Subscribe to us on your favorite podcasting app, and check us out online at www.waihekeradio.org.nz/yradio.